OpenClaw, Claude Code, Claude Code, Claude Code, Claude Code, OpenClaw.
Claude Code, Claude Code.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Welcome back to This Week in AI. We got a tongue twister to start with. Every week there's something new.
Yeah, it's great.
Every week we just think like, oh, maybe it'll be slow, nothing will happen.
And then content.
Yeah, boom, just lands on our doorstep and we have to talk about it. What's the big news this week, Connor?
Anthropic, I bet they're coming.
Yeah.
Claude Code leaked their source code.
It's so hard to say these words. Claude Code leaked their source code.
Yes.
Was this like an intern who leaked it by mistake, or who leaked it?
It was a developer at Anthropic, and they accidentally bundled all of the source code in NPM and shipped it.
Okay, so it just flashed for a second and no one got a hold of it? Or
No, an intern at a company at about 4:30 in the morning, probably some developer who doesn't sleep, me, found this, and then grabbed a copy of it, posted on X, and then, that's where the story starts about 2 days ago.
Okay, yeah, so it's out there, it's out in the wild. We're going to talk through all the ramifications in today's episode. But let's start with small businesses. People who are using Claude Code in their small and medium-sized businesses and maybe wondering, is this a risk?
No.
Am I all of a sudden vulnerable to some kind of a prompt injection?
No, all it's done is basically just pulled the curtain back on all the cool stuff Anthropic's been doing to kind of be that best coding model, along with Codex from OpenAI.
Okay.
So it shows you, what sort of practices and guardrails. It's that framework that they have.
Got it.
They've built. It's a lot of prompting, a lot of keeping it on track.
Okay. So no one's at risk because of this leak, but let's just review some best practices.
For sure.
If you're already using Claude Code, you've developed an app, you have an app, kind of in your production environment, what are some best practices that folks should be reminded of?
Yeah, I mean, if you're new to coding, first thing is you've probably learned about GitHub or Git, and you're doing some repository for you to commit your code and make your changes. It gives you great version control and kind of visibility on what changes. You want to make sure that your project stays private at all points unless you're doing an open source project. But for your business, you want to keep it private. This makes sure if for example, if this leak was in a private repository that wasn't public, even though mistakenly bundled up all the source code, it wouldn't have gotten out.
Okay, so what about kind of anything related to APIs or best practices there?
Yeah, again, most of the time Claude Code or Codex would not allow you to commit, these environment variables like API keys or sensitive information, but you want to make sure you're scanning each time you're making a commit for your projects, or Claude is making a commit, that it's not committing any sort of information it shouldn't, because then if that's in that repository and it does get breached or switched to public, somebody's going to grab that API key and they can run up costs and tokens.
Yeah, and speaking of costs and tokens, any best practices related to token usage so you're not surprised by a bill at the end of the month?
No, the nice part about like Claude Code or Codex from OpenAI, it's based on your plan that you have a monthly set cost from them. The token runaway would be something like OpenClaw. If you set up an agent and you had it choose a really expensive model and you ran it 24/7, you could be surprised by a couple $1,000 bill at the end of the month. Would be probably the biggest shock.
Okay, awesome. So just some best practices if you guys are already using an app you develop with Claude Code in your environment. Keep these in mind. If you forgot, need more information, please reach out to us. We're happy to help. Let's talk about the arms race. This is huge for the arms race. It's not a vulnerability for businesses, but for Anthropic's proposed IPO later this year, maybe.
Yeah.
For the secret sauce that other companies are wondering, this is a big leak. It's going to hurt, and the ramifications are going to be unfolding week after week. So join us each week as it plays out in real time, and we're there for you to walk you through what's happening. With this leak out there, Connor,
Yeah.
could someone use Claude Code?
Yeah.
To use the leaked Claude Code to build their own Claude Code?
Claude Code, Claude-Code is a repository on GitHub.
Okay.
That's an open source copy of Claude Code.
So
The way they were able to copy it without getting in trouble is they actually used Codex to rewrite Claude Code in Python instead of the TypeScript that it was in originally.
Claude Code.
Claude Code.
Claude Code.
Yes.
OpenClaw.
Yes.
Is there open Claude Code?
No.
Yet.
I mean, OpenClaw is open.
Okay. So open Claude
Yes.
and open Claw is the other one. Is that right? Am I getting that right?
Claude Code. Claw, like claw. Claude Code is the open source version of Claude Code.
Okay. Can you use Claude Code in OpenClaw to run Claude Code?
I think the question you're getting at.
I just want to say those words over and over again.
The question you're getting at is, and I had the same question actually today. Can I ditch my $100 or $200 monthly plan with Anthropic or OpenAI and just run my own version of Claude Code now that I have the secret sauce?
Yes.
The problem with that is Claude Code is actually subsidizing heavily the cost to run these agents.
Okay.
So no matter what you spent, you would have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to run some sort of frontier level intelligence model, which wouldn't be Opus. It would be some sort of open source model, which would be very expensive to run. And you wouldn't be able to run it the same speed, as using Claude Code.
So you're telling me yes?
No.
OpenClaw with Claude Code to run my own Claude Code. You're telling me yes? Or are you telling me no?
No.
No.
So,
strong no?
I would say it would be a financially poor decision.
Okay.
Unless you had a real good reason for running it, Claude Code. You should use Claude Code.
The answer to that question is no. What are some of the cool things that kind of came out in the release that was like, oh, that's interesting?
Yeah, they had a few fun things. Like they had poison pills for meeting other competitors that were trying to use Claude Code's output to kind of train their own version. It would just reference tools and things that didn't exist. So that was fun. There were some roadmaps in there of like future releases, different code name for new models, and even some frustrating problems they were having with the false positives or false claim rate on the new models. So they're even battling their own ability to move these models forward.
Yeah, that was interesting. What was like the percentage you were saying?
Yeah, they're at 30%. They had a note in there. Current rate is about 16%. So that's why they probably wouldn't release something that's not as good as the current. Yeah. So and a lot of like keeping the model and the agents on track and memory and attention. There's a lot of those kind of built in to Claude Code.
Now we know that all of our devices are listening to us, Connor.
Of course.
They're monitoring us. You look up something, you search for a new pair of shoes. Everywhere you look, you're going to get new pair of shoes ads. And all of our devices are surveilling us. Is Claude Code surveilling us?
No, I mean, Claude Code's going to be like a coding agent. So it's not going to be
It's not listening?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I want to say no.
But what in the code, it was listening for certain words, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was listening for if you entered any swear words or frustration words.
Oh, I see. Okay, so talk to us about that.
So basically what it was is if you cursed or said some words, it would pick that up and send that information back over to Anthropic. They're using it to analyze kind of user sentiment.
I see. And also to kind of just like identify, look, this guy's a real dummy.
Yeah.
This guy has no idea what he's doing. Let's just really tamp down the model. All right, but that user sentiment, that frustration, Connor, that's not uncommon because it appears, if you read the headlines and read the news, that Claude Code, OpenClaw, Claude Code, that it's easy, it's out of the box.
Yeah.
But if you don't have experience or help, it can be very frustrating and you can find yourself cursing.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're finding yourself cursing, what do you think, Connor?
Yeah.
What do we have for them?
We can reach out to us. I mean, effectively what AI is doing is allowing you to take an idea to something you think you can ship within a day or two. The problem is there's no part of Claude Code Claude Code. There's no part of Claude Code or Codex that stops and says, hey, before we ship this, we should check X, Y, and Z. And maybe we should evaluate how we're going to ship it, and where we're going to deploy it.
Right.
You need to know to do that.
Right.
And so that's something we've helped a few different companies out do. Or if you just have the idea and you want us to take you from the beginning to that deployed part, we can do that as well.
Yeah, reach out. If you want to talk to Connor to get a pair of eyes on your existing project, or if you want to talk to Connor to get your idea off the ground, we could reach him in the comments, email, call us, whatever. If you want to talk to me about these tongue twisters of the claws, the OpenClaw, Claude Code, or OpenClaw versus OpenClaw,
Moltbot.
Moltbot versus Claw Molt, call me direct 909-999-8611.
Have a great day.